This show is brought to you by Loud and Opinionated.
Hey, it's the power of Eli. And now we move on to Loud Sports Bowl Mania.
Bowl Mania! All right.
So we're going to start from the Final Four and work our way downward.
Yeah, and I thought we could have a few little bit of discussion points before we get into the picks, because let's be honest, a lot of these bowl games, we don't know these teams. There's a lot of bowls out there, and outside.
Are you kidding me? I have been in depth on Central Michigan versus San Diego State, Jake.
You know what? I've insulted you, and I'm sorry. Our Mac expert.
Hey, Maxion, baby.
I don't know how long this segment's going to be, but I want to talk about the Final Four. You're right. Let's work out from the Final Four. When we saw the selections on Sunday, I want to know, we can kind of go around the table. We'll start with Paul. Do you think the committee got it right with the 1 and 2 seeding between Ohio State and LSU?
Yeah, I do. And I'm going to kind of go on a slight tangent from you there. It's hard to put Clemson in the top 2, but I think they would be the most difficult first-round matchup of any of these teams. And so them being slotted at 3rd is actually, I think, to their own advantage. But we'll see.
This is the first time that out of 3 seed actually someone thought they had a chance of winning the game, I would say. Probably in the entire college
Could
football
be.
playoff.
It's been a lot of 1 and 2.
You want to hear a crazy stat?
Well, 4 won it the first year.
Seed one seed has never won.
I like that.
You might be right about that as well. But the 3 seed has been Notre Dame twice, and Michigan State was a 3 seed 1 year when they got beat 38-0. The 3 seed has done nothing.
I honestly think 2 and 4 are the seeds that always win.
The 3 seed has been a drop off in the past few years, but that is not the case this year.
First year, a 4 seed won, and it was Ohio State.
So what I like about this from Clemson's perspective is I think Clemson is the team that has been able to hide some of their playbook throughout the year. What was their biggest challenge? When did they have to empty the playbook?
Here's how I feel about I think Clemson woke up after North Carolina and has been the scariest team in the country right now. They're playing like how they looked last year, and I think that's terrifying. And that's why I'm a little upset of the seeding or the placements. Of the 4 teams, I understand the line of thinking to put LSU first. I don't necessarily hate it.
Oh, you have to.
I think you have to
because
of how they were
taking one game, and I understand it was Georgia, but it's like Ohio State has more.
They have the same. They had the same resume. They had the same resume. And
Ohio State top 25 wins.
Ohio State probably should have lost that game.
Who is Ohio State's best away win? Because I don't see anybody else going into Tuscaloosa.
They beat a top 10 Wisconsin team twice.
Yeah, and they just
twice.
and LSU beat Georgia in Atlanta.
They did crush them
by 20 points.
Yeah,
they won in Austin.
They won in.
It's not a big Texas team, but it's an incredible environment. Okay,
Yes.
Matthew McConaughey's on the sideline.
You
got 100,000 people.
You also have to take into account the time. Like nobody knew that Texas team would be 7-5, so that makes sense. Yes, but I think they put up a graphic, and I'm pretty sure that Ohio State had more top 25. Now LSU had the top 10 wins. I think that would be their advantage. But I'm pretty sure Ohio State had one
4.
more.
5 if you count the Big Ten championship.
Yeah, they had 5.
They beat
LSU
Cincinnati.
had 4, and LSU played an FCS school, and Ohio State didn't. Ohio State also played a very good Cincinnati team who was playing in their conference championship. I understand why they put LSU in because of the SEC championship game. Had they not won 37-10, I could see why they put Ohio State there. I don't know. I feel like there could have been a little bit more debate.
Ohio State is still the favorite to win the national championship.
We'll see, though. I think Clemson, LSU got the better matchup.
LSU got the Clemson. Well, you're right, but I'm just saying Ohio State is still the favorite, whether they're the 2 seed. It doesn't matter.
I still think Ohio State's going to win. I think Ohio State's going to be a national champion.
I think that when you're talking about seeding, you need to take into effect the Joe Burrow effect.
Which
the Heisman winner.
Ugh.
Prohibitive, even though two finalists are from Ohio State. The prohibitive favorite is LSU.
Statistically, Ndamukong Suh had a better year than Chase Young.
Who is Ohio
should've
State's
won the Heisman.
coach? Because I can talk like Ed Orgeron, but I think there is some sort of a name recognition to the seeding as well.
Yeah, but honestly, I can't complain because for the first time ever, Alabama's not in it, so I can't complain.
And Jalen Hurts is in it. How about that?
Yeah, who won?
How about
Who won?
that? How about that incredible video of him just standing there with a smirk on his face while everybody's going wild around him after winning the Big 12? And he just, in his head, he's like, I got 2 more games. Bama's not in it, and I just got 2 more games. And any single person in this Final Four, Jalen Hurts is a man on a mission that can disrupt things in a hurry.
I don't think Oklahoma's going to win, but I think they're matching up better than.
Are they the most competitive 4 seed ever?
I think people are
excluding champion Ohio State.
LSU's defense is not that good. They gave up a lot.
Just as good as Oklahoma's defense.
That's what I'm saying.
And LSU's offense has scored over 40 points in every single game this year.
If you ask me,
except for one.
If you're gonna play a Big 12 game with Oklahoma and LSU, I don't know. I think that matches up better than a lot of people think. I don't necessarily think Oklahoma
They
wins.
stomped Texas in a game they played against a Big 12 school. And I get that that's not Oklahoma.
Oklahoma beat up on Texas, too. Texas got a garbage time touchdown.
I know, but LSU can play a Big 12-style game. Burrow can throw it out. Are you kidding me?
But I'm saying that it's a better matchup than people think. People in Oklahoma, you don't think Oklahoma's not going to be motivated? You got Jalen Hurts who's motivated. And then, you know what they've been hearing all this time? Like, Oklahoma's in. They have no shot. There's no way. That's going to motivate players. And I think what Alex Grinch was able to do with Oklahoma is a little understated because they were the worst defense in college football last year, and they're in the top 30s this year. It says a lot about what Alex Grinch has been able to do. So I think it's a better matchup than people think. Another question. What do you guys think is the best New Year's Six matchup outside of the playoff games?
The Rose Bowl.
So we have the Rose Bowl with Oregon, Wisconsin, Sugar Bowl, Georgia, Baylor, Orange Bowl is Florida, Virginia, and the Cotton Bowl, Memphis at Penn State.
I think Oregon, Wisconsin is definitely the best out of those because I see a lot of teams that I see Georgia as not really wanting to be there.
Just like last year.
I could see that happening
because I'm sure the seniors are like, dude. Second year in a row, we get stuck with a Big 12 team in the Sugar Bowl.
But that this is not where they were supposed to be, right? They were a top 4 team, yeah. So this is not where they want to be. So I could see that going down. They are the best team out of all of those teams. They are by far the best team.
I don't know. Wisconsin's a pretty good team.
But Virginia. Just because they're in the ACC.
Yeah.
Virginia shouldn't be there. Memphis shouldn't be there.
Hey, man.
Memphis is a pretty good team.
Group of 5.
Yeah, Group of 5, highest ranked. That's how that works.
I'm upset Boise State did
ACC is the same way. Memphis would stomp Virginia, I think. But
I'm excited to see who loses by the most, and I hope it's Baylor.
Oh, Baylor's going to...
For the sports gods to give us something this year. I need Baylor to not be good. What is going on? They shouldn't even have a football program.
One, and two, I'm also very pissed off about Matt Rule putting in Charlie Brewer when Charlie Brewer clearly had a concussion in that game, and he put him in for another series. And thank God the referee looked at him and said, you need him to go to the locker room. I don't like how that looks. Did you see any of that exchange?
No.
So Charlie Brewer gets hit hard, gets sacked, and it's not the hit itself. It's the impact of his head on the turf. Because he gets rolled over, and the guy kind of goes over the top of his head, and it smacks his head into the turf. And he is literally wobbling when he gets up. His lineman helps him up, and he's wobbling around. Baylor gets a turnover, and they put him back out on offense the next series. And I was like, how did he not go through concussion protocol? How did that happen? And then eventually, the referee looks at him, looks in his eyes, and then, taps his helmet. He's like, are you okay? They end the series, and then he goes to Matt Rule and goes, take him out. Why the referee shouldn't be doing that?
Well, there should be the impartial referee, like the NFL games have the impartial doctor.
That isn't tied to the team.
Right. But there's just too many teams, too many divisions in college to have an impartial doctor at every game. But I do agree with a ref having the authority to say, I'll forfeit you. I'll forfeit you right now if you are intentionally playing injured players that should not be on the field.
The ref stepped in. I'm glad he did and be like, you got to take him out. You got to send him to the locker room or something.
I would fully support a ref saying I will end this game right now if you are playing people that shouldn't be on the field.
I'm gonna be honest. Outside of the playoff, these New Year's Six Bowls kind of suck.
Well, we got a really good Rose Bowl. I think
Brandon's right. That's the only game that's really worth watching.
As long as Wisconsin hasn't checked out. I think that's kind of what it is.
I don't think Wisconsin.
I don't think they will either because it's not like they had a chance at the playoff.
Which of these non-playoff New Year's Six teams is probably checked out the most?
Georgia.
Georgia, absolutely.
You think Georgia?
Yeah.
Not an angry, motivated. See, I'm hoping Baylor.
I'm gonna take.
Baylor didn't expect to be here. Baylor's going to be hungry to get this bowl win.
That's a good point.
Game.
Yeah,
just like Texas was last year.
Right.
Just like Michigan was last year. Like teams like that come out of nowhere. Virginia is going to be motivated to win that game against Florida as well.
Mm-hmm.
Teams that come out of nowhere, these are big games for them. Georgia, who just lost, was the number 4 team in the country and has played in the national championship 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a big game for them.
Look out for Memphis because I feel like Memphis might be like UCF against Auburn, where they're trying to prove something and they're going to come out guns blazing.
Penn State's strong, though.
Yeah, Penn State's really good, so we'll see. And then finally, we got to talk about the Homer Bowl games. I get taken out of this conversation. Thanks, Nebraska.
Oh, yeah. Are you planning to go to Lincoln for a weekend in late December? Or?
I'm just happy these kids get to spend time with their families on Christmas. I think that's what we really need to look at.
All of their out-of-state recruits. Yeah.
Let's Paul. Level of excitement for the Camping World Bowl against Notre Dame.
Yeah, the Camping World Bowl, there's actually Twitter kind of blew up immediately. The mentions for the Camping World Bowl announcement was filled with Notre Dame people saying, don't accept. Ugh, we're playing a lowly Iowa State game in this lowly bowl. And I was like, bro, keep talking, please.
Yeah, motivate this team.
Yeah, I would love nothing more than, obviously for Iowa State to win, but against such a historic program like this. And there are some close ties. You know, Sean Roberts that works with us at KXNO and does the Iowa post-game sound-off show. He's a hardcore Notre Dame guy, and he's going to have a weird few weeks in Central Iowa here leading up to this game. But I'm very excited for this as well because it's a national fan base and a fan base that is not national but travels very well.
Yep.
I think that Orlando is going to be very happy with what they got here. And first pick of the day, Clone to the Bone, baby. They're definitely going to win.
Ooh.
I'm going to put a definitely on that because
definitely, huh?
Notre Dame might be overlooking the Cyclones because Cyclones didn't quite finish out the year how we wanted. So we'll see. I got Iowa State, and how about Brandon? What are you seeing from the Holiday Bowl?
I mean, it's not what I was expecting. I was expecting him to be going down to Florida again, in one of those the bowl Michigan's at
Outback Bowl?
Games like that. I just
the
Holiday Bowl.
Hawkeyes Bowl.
The Holiday Bowl is probably
the
about the same bowl, just in California. I think Iowa's played in this bowl one time maybe. It's definitely going and facing USC down in San Diego is not ideal, but.
Home game.
Yeah, there were Hawkeye fans saying that, why do people say Iowa State travels so well when we have Hawkeye alumni all over the place? And then you really got to think about, you'll have fans there, but the not allocated tickets are going to go to USC fans because it's a 2-hour drive for them?
Not even that.
And this is your holiday vacation if you're an Iowa fan.
Also, it sucks for Iowa. They have to be in that garbage stadium that was so bad the Chargers left.
Yeah, that Holiday Bowl stadium. I remember watching that one a couple years ago, and it is not the best.
I'm trying to think of that full name. It's like the San Diego County Community Stadium. It's like SDCC Stadium is what it is.
I actually really like this a lot, seeing both these Iowa schools go against traditional like blue blood programs.
Well, it's a great time to be a football fan in Iowa.
It's a chance to prove your
I still it's a great bowl. And I still think that it's a good matchup against a team that plays a different style.
That's kind of down.
Yeah, that's played better than they have in the past.
Had a much better second half of their season.
Yeah,
than the first half.
played better than they have, in the last 5 years. I would say they're starting to get back to where they, I think
To the
I
Pete
think they'll be
Carroll
back to
days.
where they used to be here relatively soon. But
Yeah. All right, you guys ready?
Okay.
It's time, baby. Ball Mania. All right.
Why do all of your drops turn into the Macho Man?
Because I love the Macho Man. Oh yeah, let's talk about bowl games.
I swear, your closet is separated into
Macho Man.
comic book T-shirts, Macho Man T-shirts, and then nice clothes for work,
Yeah, and then you could probably mix in
and then some
other-
Husker.
some Husker stuff. Yeah. All right. I'll take the reins
You want
because
to start with the 6 or end with the 6?
I think since that will have the most analysis.
Yeah, we'll end with
with
the
that.
6.
We're gonna run through these because half these I don't even know any of these teams. First bowl game, December 20th. Makers wanted Bahamas Bowl.
Hot take: you want the first bowl game of the year?
You want to go to the Bahamas?
That's got to be. Well, where do they play? But I've got to say the first bowl game of the year has to be one of the most viewed, right? Just because we haven't had college football in 3
It's
weeks.
right before Christmas, so
I don't-
everybody has time.
I don't
off.
really watch any of the bowl games. I'll be honest. Besides the big ones. So
Besides the New Year's Six.
yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I will. I'll probably
I'm gonna
catch
have
some
to
of
do
these.
it because I'm gonna have to tally up the victories and the losses because much like primetime picks, we're gonna be competing against each other, so we wanna test our mettle. Makers wanted Bahamas Bowl, Buffalo, Charlotte. Paul, who you got?
Oh, go Buffalo, Mac all the way, baby. Yeah, let's get it.
All right, I have Charlotte. Who do you have, Brandon?
Buffalo Bulls.
Oh, first contention right out of the gate. Tropical Smoothie Cafe Frisco Bowl, December. Some of these I
Trop
left.
Smoothie has a bowl.
Tropical.
I didn't even know there
Smoothie-
were those outside of Des Moines.
But when I say Tropical Smoothie Cafe Frisco Bowl, what do you think that is?
I
Something to do with cats.
I assume it's in Frisco.
Frisco, Texas. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would think of like San
Isn't, what is?
Francisco.
Isn't there? Isn't
No,
there?
there's Frisco's. a
Isn't
large
that
town.
the name of a cat food brand?
Frisco?
Something like
Frisky?
Fresco or
Fre-
something.
Fresca's a soda, but I think you're right. I don't know. I don't have cats. All right, Brandon, you go first. Utah State versus Kent State in the Tropical Smoothie Cafe Frisco Bowl.
Utah State.
I would agree.
Mac, baby.
We're gonna have contentious ones right out of the gate. I like it.
I love it. I would like to say before we go over these
are
next
you
few.
circling these so I can?
I'm
Yeah,
underlining
thank you.
mine. I would like to say that I am immensely proud. Huge shout out to these programs that weren't even D1 5 years ago.
Liberty.
Alcorn State, North Carolina A&T, Liberty, and Georgia Southern have all joined this division since 2010.
I thought the Celebration Bowl was like the best.
Celebrate these teams.
All right, whatever. I don't even know how it works. Celebration Bowl, Alcorn State against North Carolina A&T. I'll go first on this one. I'm taking Alcorn State because who knows? Paul, who do you have?
Where's Alcorn?
I don't know.
No idea.
Didn't
all I
Dante
know,
Culpepper go there?
All I know about Alcorn State is they were in their conference championship game, so they got to be pretty good. So I'm taking Alcorn State as well.
Are we chalking
Okay,
Alcorn
yeah,
State?
first one. Alcorn State. Thank you,
I
Brandon,
convinced
for the
him.
analysis.
All right. New Mexico Bowl, Central Michigan against San Diego State. Paul, who you got?
Once again, where the heck is this played? Because is it in Albuquerque at New Mexico State? Because that's a weak stadium. That is a weak stadium.
Might be at New Mexico University. I don't know which one, but
Also weak.
both weak.
From
yes.
someone who's currently playing as Idaho on NCAA football.
Nobody cares about your dynasty. I'm mostly mad because I can't play it.
I know.
Anyway, New Mexico Bowl. Paul, who you got?
I like San Diego State here.
You're going against the MAC.
Going against the MAC, yes.
Brandon?
San Diego State as well.
Oh, you guys are stupid. MAC attack, baby.
Where you been? I've been here.
First MAC.
Where you been?
All right, moving on down the list. Some of these I left out the sponsorship for some reason, but this one I think is just called the Cure Bowl. Liberty going against Georgia Southern. Brandon, who you got?
Georgia Southern.
Liberty, liberty, liberty,
Liberty.
Boom. I just want. No, I don't. I have no idea about either of these teams.
Nope.
I just wanted the jingle.
Some of these I just circled the first team. Some of these I really did.
I can't wait until I. Oh man, it might be when I saw this Cure Bowl. I thought in my head, when are we gonna get the first marijuana product sponsored bowl game? It's probably gonna. Hey, does Soldier Field have a bowl game? Because next year, dude.
Oh man.
Yeah.
You would think it would be in like Boulder or Mile High.
Well, I'm very upset that
Mile High Bowl.
Barstool got blocked from doing a bowl because they were. I can't remember who they were talking with, but they were in talks to have sponsorship of a bowl game, and there was huge pressure from ESPN to not give Barstool the sponsorship.
They don't have the best relationship.
No, they don't. They cut Barstool Van Talk after 2 episodes.
Thanks, Samantha Ponder. Cherabundi Boca Raton? Boca Raton Bowl. SMU against FAU. FAU doesn't have Lane Kiffin. He's on to Ole Miss, so I'm going to take the Mustangs in that one. And who do you got, Paul?
Yeah, I like Mustangs as well.
They've had a pretty good season.
SMU.
Go Stangs, Mustangs.
Yeah.
All right.
I do want to point out, besides the Bahama Bowl, I don't want to go to any of these places yet. Frisco, Texas, wherever the Celebration Bowl is. I don't
go Raton. Where's that?
Boca Raton,
Florida.
Oh. It's like
that's a fun place to be.
Yeah, but what's your stadium? The Boca Raton High School Minutemen?
You are thinking about this way too much.
Yeah, the New Mexico Bowl. Why? What?
Paul,
I've driven through that state. There's nothing.
If you're SMU or FMU, you are just happy to be there, dude.
FAU already plays there.
By the way, I want to point out those last 4 bowl games all on the same day. On December 21st.
Yeah.
We still have 3 more to go on December 21st.
I'm happy December 21st is my mom's birthday, so I'll be doing something and not watching any of these 7-win team bowl games.
Yeah. Camella Bowl.
Is that what it is?
I think. Camellia? I don't know.
Is it Spanish? Camella?
Camella. Anyway, some bowl. Florida International versus Arkansas State. Did I go first? Yeah, I just went first. Paul, who do you got?
Oh, I like Arkansas State. Give me that Wolf Pack. Are they the Wolf
Red
Pack?
Wolves.
Red Wolves, thank you.
No idea, but I'm taking Arkansas State.
You guys, come on. I watched Florida International beat Miami this year, and I believe in Florida International. They're taking this one. I'm kidding. I don't know.
I need to know where these are.
I don't. With this one, you'll know. Mitsubishi Motors Las Vegas Bowl.
Which will be a lot cooler once the stadium's finished.
Boise State Broncos against the Washington Huskies.
First exciting matchup I've seen.
Brandon, who you got?
Yeah, I'm taking Washington. Disappointing season.
Are they doing it for Chris Peterson?
But I think they're going to beat Boise.
Yeah, I think it's motivated
this is
Washington
for recruits,
team.
Right? Still battling for recruits.
It is a border battle. This is a border battle.
You want to get a win for Chris Peterson? You want to get the new guy a win? I'm going to disagree, though. I'm taking Boise State.
Well, I'm back with the Huskies here. Washington.
Man, how the mighty have fallen. Remember when you thought Boise State was going to be in the playoff? And that snake draft.
Hey, they had a dark horse spot for like 2 more weeks.
Next week we got to look. We forgot to do that for this episode, but
Paul had a rough time.
We got to show that.
I swung and missed, bro.
I think I got.
We both had 2.
Yeah, I had LSU and Oklahoma.
No, you had LSU and Clemson, and I had Ohio State and Oklahoma.
First pick, safe bet. Okay, I had Alabama. And then I went with some dark horses. I thought Oregon was
they would have beat the Sun Devils.
Oregon was such a good pick. Wisconsin not as good.
Just beat Arizona State.
And then by the time it got around to me again, I was like, who's even ranked?
Well, I mean, I had Texas, and they went 7-5.
So that's why I took Boise State.
Let's wrap it up December 21st. R&L Carriers New Orleans Bowl.
I like this.
I'm taking App State, baby. They're 12-1. They're going to be 13-1. Easy pick.
App State is a very good bet here, but I'm going with UAB.
Oh,
it is the more local team. It's a party place. I mean,
a Tennessee team against a. No, wait, no, not Tennessee, are they? App State.
I think they're in Eastern. They're.
Clearly, he doesn't.
Pick App State.
They're Eastern.
They beat Michigan like 5 or 10 years ago.
Hey man, App State
in the big house.
App State,
they're better.
App State.
Take Boise State because they beat Oklahoma one time in the Fiesta Bowl.
App State went 11-1 this year and then won their championship game. They're 12-1. So, all right, Brandon, take us home on this one.
Yeah, I picked App State.
App State.
App State.
App State.
That's a good one.
I like how contentious this is. It's gonna be.
We're all over the place.
I'm gonna have to do this week by week. I put way too much of a workload on myself for these bowl games.
This is my favorite sponsorship bowl, and I'm happy that they're keeping it. I love this.
This is the greatest bowl of all time right here. December 23rd, the only game this day. Bad Boy Mowers Gasparilla Bowl.
Beautiful.
UCF versus Marshall. I am gonna take the Knights over the Thundering Herd.
This is a bowl you just know by the name that it's like played in Birmingham, Alabama, or something like that.
It's just so white trash. I love it. Paul, who do you got?
I like the Herd. I like the Herd. Give me Marshall.
You like the Herd, huh?
Yeah. No, I don't. No.
Isolate it. All right, Brandon.
UCF.
That's right. Take the Knights. Oh, man, how the mighty have fallen.
Yeah.
You hate to see it.
Well, they just need Scott Frost, right? He's the magician coach, right?
All right. Let's
was skipping past that one.
Christmas Eve, because it's always Christmas Eve.
Poor Hawaii.
This
They
sucks.
always They always play in Hawaii.
You just get an extra home game. Who cares?
They just don't want to move.
So-
They don't want to go.
So, is it SoFi or Sophie?
It's Sophie.
Sophie.
It's
Hawaii.
no, it's
No, it's
SoFi,
SoFi.
right?
So-
It's financing.
Sophie's Choice. SoFi.
This game is a Sophie's choice.
Hawaii Bowl. Hawaii versus BYU. Paul, who you got?
Gosh, Hawaii at home, big stadium. They do this every year.
How do you get excited about this if you're a player? This is just where you go all the time.
I'm taking the Mormons. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to roll with Brigham.
Following
Brandon.
in Paul's footsteps, BYU.
Boise State's only loss was BYU, by the way. You know that? But I'm going to take Hawaii. Because why not?
Home, yeah. You'll fill up the stands. Do they even allocate tickets to the
what's the
visiting fan base for this game?
But if I'm a BYU fan, I'm digging it, though. Go to Hawaii. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. I mean,
all right.
not a lot of complaints there.
Happy Boxing Day, December 26th. Walk-Ons, which is a restaurant chain apparently. Walk-Ons, Independence Bowl, La Tech, Louisiana Tech going up against the U, Miami. Brandon, who you got?
The U.
I think this might be another chalk.
I'm
surprisingly.
going with the U because this is
Yeah,
one
we
that
all
just
go.
this seems like a disparity in athleticism and talent.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Nothing against La Tech because after watching the first 2 seasons of Last Chance U, those Sun Belt teams get good guys that compete, but not against the Hurricanes.
I gotta say, this is what I love when you have bowl games like the Camping World Bowl, the Cheez-It Bowl, and this one right here, the Quick Lane Bowl. Just use your brand and put bowl behind it. It's easy for everybody. Quick Lane Bowl, Pitt against Eastern Michigan. I have got the Pitt Panthers.
You're making me go against the MAC here, but I gotta take Pitt.
You hate to see it.
You hate to see it.
Brandon, you got Pitt as well?
It's hard to pick for the ACC.
Right.
They're all garbage outside of Clemson.
9-time national champion Pittsburgh Panthers.
But Pitt's going to win.
What?
Yeah.
I don't buy it.
9-time national champion.
Is this pre-World War II?
I'm gonna say probably 50s or something. Yeah, but play NCAA football. It says it in their stadium.
All right. Seriously, man. Stop.
No, I can't.
You know how much this hurts me?
I
Anyway,
am so
we're
deep.
moving on.
I'm so deep into my own coach at different schools and go all over the place.
Stop it right now. December 27th, we've got first up Military Bowl. Which, how did a service team not get in here? That's crazy.
You would think that this would be one of the schools that
It would be a service team.
There's 7 schools with military programs in Division I football, right? I think it's 7.
It's not. The Citadel isn't a Division I team though. That's one of the 7.
Oh, okay.
Service
That
schools.
one is. But there's Army, Navy, Air Force,
Virginia Tech, Texas A&M.
A&M.
Yeah, you'd think one of those would be in there. But anyway, Military Bowl, North Carolina, Mac Brown, first year taking the Tar Heels to a bowl game against Temple.
Temple's
Paul.
been good the past few years.
Paul, who you got?
Temple has played very well the past few years, but I don't know if you've seen Mac Brown dance. I cannot go against
You're gonna
that.
pick him because of his dance.
Have you seen how hyped he gets his players when he dances? I would play for him just to try to win to watch him dance.
Question is,
I'm doing my Mac Brown here. You just move your arms in a rhythm, and that's really all he does.
it's white guy dance. North
This is a 70-something white
Question
guy
is
dance.
though, before you make your pick, whether it be 1 second on or off the clock, because that's going to decide this game. Because that's just Mac Brown's specialty. Anyway, Brandon, who you got?
It was 10 years ago, Jake.
I can't let it go.
It was 10 years ago.
Brandon.
Temple.
With the Owls.
I'm going to go with Paul here. I'm taking the Tar Heels. All right, new era Pinstripe Bowl, a bowl that shouldn't exist. I'm sorry, it's stupid.
What?
Stop putting football games on in stupid Yankee Stadium.
Stop it. Do you not like...
Hey, remember when Iowa played and it was the terrible game because they had to wear tennis shoes? They couldn't wear cleats because the field wasn't maintenance. Remember that, Brandon?
I remember them playing there. I didn't know about the
stupid.
Iowa State has lost the Pinstripe Bowl. I'm pretty sure that's where they lost to Rutgers.
Play in New York. All I'm saying.
But why?
Why would you go to a cold place like New York?
Who don't you want to say I played at Yankee Stadium?
Yeah, if I were a baseball player.
Why not? Doesn't that make it more unique
Anyway,
if you're a football player?
New era Pinstripe Bowl, Michigan State versus Wake.
Do you not like
Forest.
putting hockey games in football stadiums?
Who you got, Brandon?
Big Ten bias.
Yeah,
Michigan State.
I would agree with that. I have Michigan State as well.
Sparty, yeah, Sparty.
Hey, chalk. Look at that. Academy Sports and Outdoors Texas Bowl.
I love this. I love any chance we have to beat up on teams that left the Big 12. So give me the Cowboys. I don't even care. Go Pokes.
I was supposed to go first, but yes, Cowboys. Brandon, you effed it all up. I had a thing.
Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State. All right. Well, this is the one we've all been waiting. Well, one of the games we've been waiting for. One of the homer ones, because Nebraska couldn't do it. Holiday Bowl, USC versus the Hawkeyes. I'm going to go with the Hawkeye homer right here. Brandon, you got your Hawkeyes, you got the Trojans.
Oh, yeah, the Hawkeyes will get their 10th win.
Ooh.
Double digit.
Interesting.
Yeah, I got the Hawks too. I think the Hawks are going to win.
I have USC in this one, mostly because it's kind of a home game for USC. That's really the only advantage I get.
But I would say that Iowa does have a coaching advantage here.
Yeah, it's such a...
I'm just not in it for Clay Helton.
Yeah. I mean, the game itself is kind of a toss-up to me. Cheez-It Bowl, this is surprising because I figured Air Force would be in the Military Bowl, but whatever. Cheez-It Bowl, Air Force versus Washington State. Also, I thought this was a Big 12, Pac-12 thing, but I guess not. Air Force against Washington State.
They need to get rid of those affiliations just completely.
I agree with that.
Let all bowls bid.
Yeah. I would agree with that. I will go first. I'm going to take the Falcons, Air Force over Washington State.
Wow.
Paul, who you got?
I gotta go with the ingenious Mike Leacher.
The guy who called his players fat, dumb, and lazy?
The guy who knows that his
Keeps it
cougar
real.
could demolish a falcon.
Are you real? You know what? Solid point. Brandon?
I disagree with that point.
You got the Falcons?
Air Force will win.
You think the Air Force Falcon? Well, it is a live Falcon.
I want you to remember.
We've been over this.
I want you to remember how much you're smiling, Brandon, because you thought this was stupid, and we're having the time of our lives doing the bowl games. We're finally in the New Year's Six part of it. December 28th, Camping World Bowl. Paul, it's your Cyclones. Clone to the bone. You've already made your pick.
You know, I was told last year on Twitter that the later in the year it is, the better the bowl game is by Iowa fans.
Look, you're playing right before the semis.
I'm just saying, it is the lead-in. It is a nice lead-in game. You're going to get a lot more national views because it is the lead-in to a New Year's Six. Man, yeah, go Clones. Clone to the bone, baby. Yeah.
I would agree with that. I'm taking Iowa State.
Catholics versus Cornvicks.
Somebody said cornfields, and you responded, and you're like, they're playing against a field? Corn-fed?
I said it should have been corn-fed.
Cornfedmedia.org.
Yeah, I don't see
it.
Notre Dame really trying much in this game. I think Iowa State will win.
Wow, I couldn't even give the Clones credit. Unbelievable.
Well, Notre Dame seemed to think that they should have been in a New Year's Six.
No, but that's why I have Baylor beating Georgia, because I don't think Georgia's going to care about the Sugar Bowl. So I understand your line of thinking. Spoilers! All right, Cotton Bowl Classic.
I would like to take a non-sports point here and say I haven't heard Colin Kaepernick say anything about players playing in the Cotton Bowl.
Jeez. He's got a point.
I just want to let that hang.
All right, Cotton Bowl Classic. Power 5 representative for the New Year's Six, or Group of 5, sorry, representative for the New Year's Six. Memphis Tigers taking on the Penn State Nittany Lions. Brandon, who you got?
Penn State.
I'm going to go upset Memphis, because Memphis wants to be there. I feel like they have these Group of 5 teams has to have statement games. So I'm taking Memphis. What about you?
I know Nittany Lions. Nittany Lions over the Tigers.
Well, you guys would probably be right. I don't have a lot of confidence in Memphis. It was an up in the air pick. All right, we're finally in the semis, baby. This is where we're gonna have probably our most discussion. The Fiesta Bowl, the Ohio State Buckeyes taking on the Clemson Tigers, defending national champions. 2 out of the last 4 years they've won a national championship. Fellas, let's get some breaking down of this game. I had to collect my thoughts here. What's going to be the key for Ohio State to beat Clemson? Paul.
Defensively.
Chase Young?
That's what it comes down to. Yeah, it comes down to shutting down the explosiveness of Trevor Lawrence and the Clemson receivers.
What about you, Brandon?
Yeah, I think Chase Young is the difference maker for the whole game. I think Chase Young, if he gets free, he'll wreck the game.
He's the Khalil Mack of college football right now, where you eyes on him. Eyes on him. Where's he at?
I'm just saying statistically, Ndamukong Suh had a better year 10 years ago and he should have won the Heisman.
Let it go.
I'm just saying numbers don't lie.
I would like to point out there is only one defender to win the Heisman, Charles Woodson.
And he had to play.
Who got left off of the NFL 100 list. Are you
Really?
kidding me?
All right, anyway, I like what you guys are saying about Chase Young, but I think to me, it's going to be J.K. Dobbins, I think, would do that because Justin Fields is injured right now. Granted, there's going to be a couple weeks before that game, but I think if J.K. Dobbins can really get going and take the pressure off Justin Fields, I think that might help elevate Ohio State. Now, real quick, what is Clemson? How are they going to win this game versus Ohio State? What's their key to victory?
Misdirection on offense. You got to keep them.
ETN?
You got to keep them looking. You got to keep them guessing. Lot of bootlegs. A lot of what I want to see. I want to see 2-back sets, and that's where I think Clemson wins is not defensively, but staying ahead of Ohio State offensively, because that's where the biggest battle I think is going to be is the Ohio State defensive line. How quickly can they get to Trevor Lawrence?
Brandon?
Yeah, I agree again. I think Travis Etienne is the X factor. I think he's the reason why they will be able to win this game.
I have some pause with Clemson because this will be the best defense they will ever face.
It will kind of be a
season.
shock, the talent that they're facing.
It's a little
At
annoying.
first, but you got to remember these guys.
Clemson's very talented.
They did play the ACC last year and win a national championship.
Yeah, the same offense.
It's basically the same players on offense. On defense, it's not, but on offense, it is the same players.
Nick Saban's time might be up, guys. Kidding. Hey, 2 losses is a step down for him. I would think the key is Trevor Lawrence being smart with the football. He hasn't. I think he's thrown maybe like 1 or 2 interceptions since the rocky start.
I don't know. I honestly don't think he's thrown any.
I think he's an incredibly neurotic quarterback.
He hasn't thrown a pick since the 5 interceptions.
Since like the first 4 games.
His physical stature makes you think he's a laid-back gunslinger, do whatever, He's the long-haired Cali kid. I mean, there's no, you know what I mean? It's his persona, but then the way that he plays is surgical. Mm-hmm. And that's what, he was a freshman.
I mean, he diced up Alabama's defense last year as a freshman, which is nuts. But I think also, I don't know, man. And I said it last year, and we'll see again. If they can dominate Ohio State like they did a couple years ago when they beat them 31-0, if they could do that again, or just like they did last year against Notre Dame, it's going to be hard to say that they aren't a national champion. Like they deserve to be there. It's unfortunate that the ACC is so bad that they play a 4-month preseason before they get to the playoff. So that being said, who do you got, Paul?
Oh, I'm starting it out with Clemson.
Oh.
Yeah, I believe that they have the explosivity factor. Out of all 4 playoff teams, I think Clemson is the one with the best odds of just hitting an 80-yarder at any point. I'm rolling with Clemson here.
All right, Brandon.
I'm also picking Clemson.
Wow. Really?
Big Ten bias left real quick.
I have Ohio.
I've been talking up on Ohio State. I think it's gonna be a really good game.
You've been talking down Clemson all year.
This is what's surprising me,
but respectively based on schedule, which is understandable.
4-month preseason.
And I I think Clemson will win.
I'm
Battle tested.
taking the Buckeyes. I've said it all season. I think, to me, Ohio State is the most complete team of all 4 teams, and Clemson is compelling because of how dominant they have been in the last few months. But I got to give the edge to the Buckeyes, and I think it's I think it's a combination of things. It's J.K. Dobbins, it's Chase Young. Justin Fields has had a great season, but he's a little bit banged up, so he's probably not going to be running the ball as much. And I think the Wisconsin game made Ohio State better because they hadn't really been challenged all year other than maybe
It's a good
Penn
lead-in.
State.
No, I agree. It was they dominated everybody they played so far.
Yeah.
So before we leave this
It'll
game,
be the best game. I think it'll be the best semifinal.
oh, I like this one. Yeah. Before we leave this game, I just thought this. I want to pose the question. We've seen where Miami's bowl game is, and we've seen Florida State's not getting one.
No, Florida State's.
Oh, they are in one.
They're in the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl.
Something super late I don't even care about. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
How much differently would we view Clemson if even one of those 2 teams were the national power that they have been before? If the ACC has another top 20, top 15 ranked team, and they beat Florida State or Miami as a powerhouse, how would we see Clemson then? Would they could possibly be number 2, number 1 now? If they had another serious team in the ACC?
I think they'd be probably number 1 even because just how dominant.
I think that's still the.
But you'd have to give it to LSU or Ohio State.
It's the
because of their
Burrow thing.
schedule.
It's the narrative. It's the change in
and
the narrative.
LSU had to beat 3 top 10 teams at one point.
But just
I
to
think
throw it out
be
there.
different, and I think Clemson, based on how they played down the stretch, if LSU and Ohio State weren't as good as they are, I think it'd be easily they would be number 2, because I think the narrative flipped after that North Carolina game. Ever since then, they've just been running roughshod all over the ACC, which they should. They're the best team. All right, Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, and I said it earlier, and
I'm boycotting this because it's Chick-fil-A. No, I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say it's been around for a while.
No, it's the other side now.
I
The conservatives are angry at Chick-fil-A.
I think this matchup is a lot more compelling than people give it credit for. I said it earlier. I really do. I think that Oklahoma somehow, some way, snuck in, got lucky, and had the chips fall where they did for them.
They needed Pac-12 help.
I think this is an amazing story to have Jalen Hurts go up against LSU again and be in the playoff again. He's the only quarterback to be in 4 years, and there's a story there. Yeah,
That's wild.
because he's been 3 times with Bama,
4
once
years
with
in the playoffs.
Oklahoma.
That is, I'm gonna say the equivalent
Only
of
quarterback
that.
to be, well, I guess no, and that's the thing. 3 of these quarterbacks are transfer portal quarterbacks.
The equivalent of what Jalen Hurts has done is the only thing. I mean, and even more incredible because it was at the same school. Bobby Hurley played in 4 Final Fours for Duke. That's outstanding.
Yeah. And I think that does give Oklahoma a little bit of an advantage, having a guy who's been there before. And I think they got the best receiver in the country.
But
CeeDee
LSU
Lamb.
is a buzzsaw.
And Joe Burrow has had a phenomenal season. It's LSU. It's just, yeah. I think it's a better matchup. But
no one has been able to go toe to toe with LSU and lose.
well, Bama came back and clawed back and only
That was
lost by 5.
LSU's fault, though. That
Yeah,
should have been
there's
a 15.
some blown
That should have been a
coverage.
15-point game, and LSU plays
I think they were.
press man-to-man up by 15.
Yeah,
with
Oh,
why
they
2
were
minutes left.
feeling
What are you
it.
doing? Yeah.
They were feeling that.
They
win
did it.
already.
They did it again in their last and against Georgia. They did the same thing. About blew it again.
But I think we're all going to be chalk. I think we're all going to take LSU in this one.
Oh wow, no, Boomer, go. Boomer.
You're taking
Yeah,
Oklahoma
no,
for the upset.
I think LSU might be the best team here,
But
but
they're gonna be
I
too
just
cocky?
love the Jalen narrative
Me too.
and the composure and just what
Dude,
he has
if
done.
Jalen can beat Clemson,
What-
oh my God.
What Jalen Hurts has done all year feeds into this moment right now. He is just wearing a big cowboy hat after being Texas, not celebrating while everybody's partying around him,
Smirking.
saying,
Lifting weights.
saying, I respect this. This is a big one. And then he's just out there after the game lifting weights. He he is a man on a mission like I have never publicly seen in college football from a player. Have you ever seen a player that seems as actively motivated for certain things with a chip on his shoulder?
Which
than
is
Jalen Hurts?
why I'm so mad that LSU beat Alabama, because I would have loved to see you semifinal first game. It's Clemson. It's Jalen against Saban.
Right.
First game. That'd
Right.
be amazing.
I think that, oh my gosh, what's it going to do for Tua's draft stock if Jalen leads Oklahoma to a national championship?
So you're gonna go with Oklahoma.
I have Oklahoma in the first game.
I've been going back and forth with Oklahoma on this one, but I think it's gonna be the higher scoring matchup, because I think Clemson and Ohio State's defenses are just insanely good. But then again, I don't know, because Trevor Lawrence versus Justin Fields. I've been going back and forth, but I gotta take LSU in this one. I can't do it. I can't pull the trigger on an upset. I can't.
Brandon, why are you taking LSU?
I think LSU is the most dominant team in college football this year. I don't think this game will be that close. Honestly,
Really, you think this will be?
I think it will be a double. I think it will be a
blowout.
double digit win at
This
least.
is also an LSU team that gave up 38 points to Vanderbilt.
As I live look up the
and
lines.
they've also scored more than 42 in every single game this year except for one,
Solid point.
including Bama, Georgia.
Right.
Georgia, who hadn't given up 20 points all year.
They only scored 37 in that game. Okay, but that's why I would take LSU. They've just been so good all season.
LSU has been so dominant. They have so many weapons. They can score in any way.
Yeah.
I mean, they have the Heisman winner.
So
Yeah.
I'm looking up the
There's
lines
no way
right
that
now.
he's not going to win that.
I'm looking up the lines for these quarterfinals and thinking to myself, man, all I had to do was just look at the lines and know who's favored in all of these games.
That's how I made 95% of my picks.
Yeah, Utah State's plus 6.5, plus 7. Oh my gosh.
So it'll be interesting when we get to the end, because then we'll really figure this out. December 30th. Good luck following those games. Any other bowl game. December 30th, Serve Pro First Responders Bowl, Western Kentucky against Western Michigan. Brandon, who you got?
Western Kentucky.
That's
That's about all I know.
Hey,
Same.
Hilltoppers, baby.
Hey, Chalk. We're all taking the Hilltop.
No, I just like the nickname. No, Western Michigan. Are you kidding me?
Mac.
Mac.
You've
Mac
picked against the
attack.
Mac like 2 or
What
3
day of the week is December 30th? Because if it's a Tuesday, I'm pretty
Mac
sure
attack.
you can't beat the Mac on a Tuesday.
Monday,
It
'cause
just doesn't happen.
The semis are on a Saturday.
Okay. So we have that's a Monday game. If we get a Tuesday or
Mac,
Thursday,
Mac Monday, dude.
yeah, if we get Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday with a Mac team, look out.
Okay, Paul, we got to get through these. Music City Bowl, Mississippi State against Louisville. I'm going to take the Cardinals, Louisville. Paul, who you got?
Oh, Bulldogs, SEC.
All right, Brandon, who you got?
Mississippi State.
All right, you guys are lying. Red Box Bowl. See, again, look at that. Just put your name
Smart.
and then a bowl.
Simple marketing.
Red Box Bowl, Cal against Illinois.
But
Who you
that's
got, Paul?
but that's partly just the expansion of the bowls in general, because we always had the Holiday Bowl.
Yeah.
This is an added bowl. Where it's like, oh, what are we naming? We'll just give it a sponsor name.
Do you know the Camping World Bowl used to be the Blockbuster Bowl?
Well, it used to be the
Champ Sports Bowl.
it's had a different
Yeah.
name like every 2 years in Orlando.
Anyway, Red Box Bowl, Cal, Illinois. Who you got, Paul?
Lovey. I like Lovey.
The way that they've rallied to be even bowl eligible is incredible. I got the Illini as well.
No, I'm taking Cal.
Taking the Golden Bears. You just couldn't help yourself. We could have been chalk there. Capital One Orange Bowl.
Close out the night after some bad games.
Yeah, New Year's Six Bowl to salvage this Monday night.
Thank you.
I think we all got this one. Florida, right? Florida against Virginia in the Orange Bowl. Pretty much a home game for the Gators.
Virginia might get run here.
It's a boat race, and I'm taking the Gators.
Yeah, Gators.
Gator bait.
Whoop, chalk. All right. New Year's Eve, December 31st, starting off with the Belk Bowl. We got Vautech taking on Kentucky. I have the Wildcats in this one.
This is seriously like, I just look at these two schools and I'm like, do I have a coin?
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much all these bowl games. So who do you got, Paul?
I'll take the Hokies. Yeah.
Okay, Brandon.
Vautech.
See, this is the problem with having these bowl games after the semis. Who cares? We just care about the championship. Tony the Tiger, not the Kellogg Sun Bowl. Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl. We got Florida State going up against Arizona State.
Where is this?
It's the Sun Bowl, so it's in Arizona.
I think it's in Arizona as well.
It's in Glendale. Could be wrong.
I think it's in.
It's the ASU game.
Yeah, it's ASU against FSU.
So they also get to host.
Pretty much. I'm taking the Seminoles, and it's an upset.
No, the Sun Bowl's at El Paso.
Yes, you're right. Yes, it's El Paso.
Yes,
I got the Noles.
Same thing. They're all the same.
they are very.
Brandon, who you got?
Sun Devils.
Oh
Herm
yeah.
Edwards.
Oh, Sun Devils. Yeah, you played to win the game. He won't say that. Do you know that? He will not say that. He gets asked to say that, and he will not do it.
All right, AutoZone Liberty Bowl, Navy against K-State.
Jesus, there's a whole nother page.
Yeah, there's still more. We're almost there, I promise. AutoZone, that's why I was trying to get you to move along. AutoZone Liberty Bowl, Navy, K-State. Who you got, Paul?
Oh, Wildcats. Yeah, Wildcats for the win here.
Big 12, baby. I'm taking K-State.
Navy.
Brandon, taking Navy.
Really? What makes you like Navy here?
That's for the troops.
Triple option. Navy's a top 25 team consistently. They were again this year.
Because I mean they can kind of write their own schedule.
Still top 25.
Yeah, they're still a
I
good
get
team.
that. I just don't. I think that we're at a point in football
Their
where
quarterback has
I
had
don't believe in the triple option.
Their quarterback has had over 1,000 yards rushing every single
All
in
right.
4 years straight.
Here we go.
I have not believed in the triple option since Iowa beat Georgia Tech, and I said, "Wow, maybe this actually doesn't work anymore."
Oh, I forgot to make a pick on one of these. Nova Home Loans Arizona Bowl.
Wow.
Paul. It's
I think that one's in
Wyoming.
Arizona.
This is the Phoenix one or the Tucson one.
Who
Who
cares?
knows?
Who cares?
I've been to Sun Devil Stadium. It's baller. It is big.
Wyoming
and it's fun.
against Georgia State.
Oh, I'm taking Wyoming. This is a Western America game.
Oh yeah.
I think we're chalk.
Ghost,
Georgia
the ghost
State.
of Josh Allen will
I don't
win
know
this
why I
game
touched
for
your
you.
elbow.
You're yeah.
We're chalk on that one.
Georgia State, another program in the past 10, 12 years that started up for this level, and very happy with their
Only
level
in
of
the
success.
6 years now. I only know that because you can get an achievement in NCAA 14 if you win a national title with them.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's them, Old Dominion.
And Southern Alabama.
Those are the 3-year ones
Yeah.
in that game. Yeah.
Valero Alamo Bowl, because of course the people at the Alamo Bowl were like, "Wait, Texas on the board? No brainer. We're gonna put Texas in this game."
Yeah. Hey, Texas, what you doing that day? Like, what's up?
Utah against Texas. I'm taking the Longhorns.
I like this matchup. I like an angry
yeah.
Utes team here.
I want to
though.
watch a fraud go against another fraud.
Utah will smoke Texas.
I like an angry Utes team here. Yeah,
got the
Jake,
horns.
I think you looked a little
It's a
too
home
soon.
game. It's a home game. Are you kidding me? It's in San Antonio. It's a home game, Texas. All right, January 1st, we're bringing in 2020 strong. Is it Verbo? VRBO. I don't know. Citrus Bowl. The Wolverines taking on the Crimson Tide. Michigan against Alabama. Paul,
What a
who you got?
matchup. Honestly,
Who
I
you got?
love this.
Who you got, Paul?
Man, you got to go with the Tide though. You got to go with
I
Bama.
would, but I don't think Saban or Alabama give a crap. They're in the Citrus Bowl, and I got to take Harbaugh here. I'm taking Michigan.
Michigan sucks. Bama.
All right.
I took Bama because I think they're angry, and Nick Saban is recognizing the opportunity to beat another high-level program here in the exclamation point to a season that turned out to be a disappointment.
It's the very Jim Harbaugh thing, though, to win a game like this.
Oh, and get an extension.
Hype up the Michigan fan base and then go 7-5.
He will get it if
I don't think it'll be that
if
bad
Michigan
next year.
wins this game, Harbaugh gets an extension, and they don't start talking about firing him again for another 3 years.
And then
When
so
is
next year when
as-
they do,
as-
and
as
it's
they
the
go-
same cycle. What is this? 3 years in a row?
They'll
The
go
exact same thing has
8-5
happened.
with the bowl win. You know?
Michigan
Like-
needs to accept
Exactly.
that they won't be Ohio State. They want to be Ohio State so bad that they can't accept.
There was an exciting rivalry between the two, but not for the past 20 years.
Michigan hasn't won in 8 years.
8
Yeah, exactly.
years,
Yeah.
which I really hope doesn't happen with Iowa and Nebraska. If Iowa loses to Nebraska,
Or
Nebraska loses to Iowa,
Iowa
8
State
years.
has lost 5 straight to Iowa now.
Yeah, no, good job on
Minnesota, Iowa State, and Nebraska.
Nate Stanley has
did
never
you hear that
lost
thud?
to any of those
Did you hear
schools.
that thud? Brandon just dropped the mic on us.
Yeah.
All right. Outback Bowl. Great. A fraud team that is Minnesota. Obviously, I'm taking the Auburn Tigers. What?
I have not gotten enough sleep, and I just read a typo and thought of a backstory for the typo, and we will get to it. I promise you. But I just kind of lost it for a second. Outback Bowl. Yeah, no, row the boat. Give me the Gophers.
You're taking the Gophers?
Gophers.
Yeah, you guys are stupid. They're going to get crushed.
You have been on PJ Fleck all year.
Yeah.
There's a giant boat in this stadium.
Yeah, but Auburn is still going to ride the high of the Iron Bowl. And PJ Fleck showed to me when he goes up against a better coach, he can't get it done like Wisconsin's Paul Chryst. He loses. All right, Rose. I know. It's amazing how fast I turned on that team.
You did. I'm very surprised.
You didn't even turn on them after they lost the first time.
No, yeah, he said.
No, because I was like, that
he said there's a hole, but we're still rowing.
Because I was like, that happens. Teams lose night games in Kinnick. It's the Kinnick curse. And then after that.
But teams never lose in Wisconsin. It's not like Wisconsin is like undefeated
that was a home
every year.
game. It was a home game.
Okay.
Walter Camp. Huh. So, you can walk in there.
Anyway.
Easy win.
Yeah.
The agreed upon.
Jump around what?
You son of a. The agreed upon best game outside of the playoff for the New Year's Six. The Rose Bowl, we got the Oregon Ducks against the Wisconsin Badgers. This is the first time these two teams have met in the Rose Bowl. I think it was 2013's Rose Bowl, and then last time these two played in the Rose Bowl. I believe in the Ducks. I'm taking the Ducks over the Badgers in the Rose Bowl. Paul?
Okay, I believe in Jonathan Taylor. I think that he said he's going to be playing in the bowl game. And
That's good.
I think this is a very motivated Wisconsin team, and I think they're going to win the Rose Bowl.
I got Oregon.
Wow, okay. I like Herbert.
I really thought,
Power football on power football.
Oregon made me a believer. Like I
But
thought.
then it's Wisconsin power football, man. I mean, come on.
No, Oregon's power football.
Oregon is one slip up away from being in the playoff. If they would have just beat the frickin' Sun Devils. All-State Sugar Bowl to wrap up New Year's Day.
That's why Herm Edwards plays to win the game.
Paul, who you got? Georgia taking on Baylor.
Oh, Georgia. What up, dogs?
I would like to go with that because I hate Baylor and they're a terrible school. And you're right, there is no justice on this planet, but I got to think Baylor's going to win because Georgia doesn't care.
You don't have to be contrarian.
Georgia,
I don't think that Georgia cares, but I think Georgia's way too talented.
I don't think Baylor has a chance no matter how motivated Georgia is.
I'm going to flip back on this. If Georgia and Kirby Smart learn from last year against Texas and says, we'll show up to this one, you know what?
Where do you see Georgia compared to Oklahoma?
You know what? You're right, Georgia.
Yeah, where do you see Georgia compared to Oklahoma? That is the question you need to ask yourself for this game.
Georgia is a much better team. Georgia.
That's it. Then Georgia is going to beat Baylor.
All right, I flipped.
That's it. We gotcha.
January 2nd. Still going. There's too many freaking bowls, dude. Ticket Smarter Birmingham Bowl. Why does Birmingham have...
Shut up. That's the real name.
Shut up. No, I thought it was Ticketmaster.
No,
too.
I thought you typoed Ticketmaster, and then in my head I'm thinking about the Ticket Martyr. That's what got me a minute ago.
No, it's Ticket Smarter. I double checked.
Wow.
Boston College against Cincinnati. I'm taking the Bearcats. Paul, who you got?
The weird sports fanatic part of me says I have to go to a game in this Birmingham stadium at some point. It's 70,000. It's a 70,000 seat stadium. You know, I think that it could be a really cool environment in the right situation.
Make your pick.
Oh, the Cincinnati Bearcats. Yeah, Boston College has been downsliding, and how can you
I can't believe they fired their coach.
How can you choose the ACC outside of Pittsburgh or Clemson?
Why? Yeah, I mean outside of Clemson. Brandon, who you got?
Cincy.
Yeah, okay. Tax Slayer Gator Bowl. Indiana Hoosiers taking on the Tennessee Volunteers. Brandon, who you got?
The Hoosiers.
I will agree with that. Big Ten bias taking the Hoosiers.
Wow, no, I'm
I
going with the Vols.
In the Rose Bowl.
I like the Vols here.
That dumpster fire?
Yeah.
I'm still annoyed that they got into a bowl game over Nebraska because both teams are dumpster fires.
You stop that.
They're both dumpster
You should be more upset about Florida State. Do they even have a coach?
Shut up, Paul.
But they have a bowl.
Shut up, Paul. January.
Would you
3rd.
trade Scott Frost for a bowl game?
January. No, I would not. January 3rd. Famous Idaho Potato Bowl. Paul, can you guess where this one is? Because you seem to be so freaking worried about where these bowl games are.
Well, is it in Moscow or Boise?
Famous Idaho Potato Bowl.
I don't think I'd want to play on the blue field for a bowl game.
It hurts my eyes.
It would be so different. And the Kibbe Dome is a really cool place.
I have to wear these I have these pair of glasses.
Are they like Riddick glasses?
They're blue light glasses.
Oh, those are such a scam. I'm so sorry.
Ashley bought them. I didn't. Ohio versus Nevada, famous Idaho Potato Bowl. Paul, who you got?
Oh, dude.
Mac.
No. Are you kidding me? Last chance you.
Nevada.
I got my wolf pack here. What's his name? The quarterback that I hate on Last Chance You.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
He's been out here throwing dimes for Nevada.
They beat Purdue. First game of the season. Brandon, who you got?
Ohio.
I was going to say yes because my boy Frank Solage, but I got to take the Wolfpack. I just got to do it. All right.
I'm happy that I can't remember that kid's name right now, actually.
Yeah, me too. January 4th, because it's going to keep derailing us. Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl. Again, how did they not put a service team in here? Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl, Southern Miss against Tulane. Brandon, who you got?
Tulane.
I would agree. I got to ride that green wave.
Tulane in everything and all things. I love Tulane and everything about him. Yes. Yeah, I want to go to a Tulane game in the Superdome.
Okay, last game before the national title game. Lending Tree Bowl. Louisiana against Miami of Ohio. I'm going to go with the MAC here. I'm taking Miami.
Malik
Ohio.
Henry is the Nevada quarterback.
I knew it was Henry. I didn't know his first name.
I couldn't remember.
Paul, who you got in the Lending Tree Bowl? Louisiana versus Miami, Ohio.
Man, I gotta go with the Sun Belt here.
The Raging Cajuns.
Yeah, they play hard.
Where's your loyalty? Where's your MAC loyalty?
I think the Sun Belt is superior to the MAC in talent.
So I don't know how. I guess we can't really do the national championship because.
We'll do a deep dive on the national. We'll have a preview and a review of the Final Four.
Because it'll be a whole 2 weeks almost. It's like the Super Bowl now between.
Yeah, because it's the longest. It's the longest college football season of all time.
It's because there was two bye weeks.
It is 2 weeks. We go from the 28th to the 13th.
It's because the first time they did the second year they did the playoff, they realized nobody watches the playoff games on New Year's Eve because everybody goes out.
It was a horrible decision, yeah.
And they're like, well, we can never put them if there's never a chance to put it on New Year's Day. We're just gonna put it the weekend before. So that has been Loud Sports Bowl Mania. I feel so exhausted. There's so many bowl games. Can we just, at some point, just be like, look.
No.
Bowl games are
more bowls.
Bowl games are just one large, unless you're in the New Year's Six or the Final Four, it is just a large consolation prize.
I'm sorry, I like more football.
That's a good point. You say that, but I'm the only one that's going to watch all these bowl games because I'm the only one that's going to pay attention to the standings.
Oh, I can tell you for certain I will not be watching Buffalo Charlotte.